What up, Wichita? Welcome to another edition of the Wichita Dinner Table. Tonight is Wednesday, February 26th. We have part of the gang back. We have DJ Carbon.
What is good, ICT?
We have Annette Lawless.
Hello, how we doing?
And we have Troy Trussell with Live Local.
What's up, Wichita? All right.
I wish I had that ability.
Laser beams.
Lasers, all kinds of lasers.
Troy, I'm going to need that little buzz sound coming up. The Kansas Gastronomist is unable to make it today, so hopefully we'll have him back next week.
He's recovering.
This week's weekly swag, we got Wichita Wahhhh. They are a locally sourced Wagyu place here in town that sells Wagyu beef over at 8641 West 13th Street. They're over at, was that 13th and Tyler?
Yes.
They have about 13 to 15 local farms, all in the Kansas area. The owners, Clay and Barb, they're awesome. They put on so many cool events around for the city at their storefront. Like this past weekend, they had a VIP event for their customers. Awesome time. They cooked free food for everyone. So shout out to Wichita Wagyu.
Very cool.
Okay. What did everybody do this past week? Mark Arts? I saw everybody there.
Yes.
The whole table.
That was a blast. We had a great time.
That was phenomenal.
I think, so for those that don't know, the entire dinner table went to Mark Arts, and we went to a cooking class taught by Catherine Elder with Eldersley Farm. Like Troy, you brought your spouse, Carbon brought your spouse, and Annette was there, TKG was there, other local bloggers were there, and we made, what did we make? Get chocolate ganache,
dishes.
meatballs,
Lamb
meatballs, a focaccia bread,
and a spinach salad with a vinaigrette.
Yeah. I was partnered with Annette. I felt bad because I am not good at this stuff.
You should see me. I'm like, I'm gonna make you do this, Eddie, because I feel like you need to learn this. So it was pretty much I chopped vegetables and that was it. I made a little bit of bread.
That's probably why our meatballs that you'll see on screen were so poorly done, because when we got to the meatball part, we did it in like groups of 4. So Troy, you were partnered with Carbon and his spouse, and then like Annette
went to their baller table.
One of the 3 bites. TKG and I were all together. So TKG and I did the meatballs.
Wait, you guys were so proud. Like TKG, like he's like, oh, and he's like, this smells really good and whatever. And I'm like, okay, let's go with it,
Yeah, Annette was there chopping up cauliflower, and we did the meatballs, and the meatballs came out a little less than stellar.
They were. I think if we had a little more salt in them, it probably would have amped it up a little bit, but maybe a little bit more of the other.
Nice. Troy called them bland.
They were, but I mean,
they
it
were
wasn't like horrible.
Bland. But they were still good.
They were edible, which is edible is my bar.
I was fine with eating them.
I think they were, no worries.
I thought
she had mentioned do a tablespoon of salt for every pound of meat that you have.
Well, I just did a pinch.
Oh, that's it.
Literally, I asked TKG, I'm like, how much should we do? He's like, I don't know, do a pinch. So I did the whole Salt Bay deal, where like you sprinkle it down. So I just sprinkled a little bit and called it good. But man, I was watching Carbon and Troy. I was watching Carbon and Troy the entire time, and you guys were just like pros
they were
in the
like
kitchen.
On it. They were on it.
We were cooking. Once upon a time, I did run a Red Beans Bayou Grill for several years. That's
throwback.
Yes,
So
I earned my kitchen stripes once upon a time running that kitchen for a few years.
I love that.
It's fun, and I'm always in the kitchen at home cooking, so I love it. Yeah,
it's fine.
Troy's wife was like, I have the best sous chef. I'm like,
that was my wife. My wife was called him the best sous chef. She's just like, forget this guy. He traveled Troy over here.
Bravo, Troy.
That was honestly it was a lot of fun. Regardless
it really
of my struggles. I've done a couple classes there, but
you have. I loved it because even though I know how to make bread, but I love hearing the explanation of all the different things, and even the bread making. I was like, it's just so good to hear how other people do it, and so that was just really eye-opening. And it was fun, because everyone's obviously we're not all professionals, so it's just kind of cool to see everyone's interpretation, because obviously everyone's stuff is a little different, and that's okay. So
I'm fully expecting after our kitchen remodel to have a bread maker purchased in like no time. She's like, I don't have that mixer. I'm like, okay, I know.
It's so easy. That's how I do my breads all the time. I just use the dough hook setting. I think maybe like once a year I'll need stuff by hand, and that's it. So so helpful.
KitchenAid mixer is one of the best investments you can make.
Yeah, we got one for sure.
No, that was our first cooking class since Kanai. Yeah, that was the last time we took a cooking class together.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to talk to Natasha over the kitchen and get us all set up for another cooking class over that
I think she'd love it. Yeah. And she does them often. So I know like with the new location on North Oliver, they're wanting to do more. So cool.
All right. Carbon, did you have yourself a weekend again?
Oh, yeah, we did. What did we do this week? We had the Commerce Club Mingle. You got to stop by. It was always a good time at the Commerce Club. I went over to the Wichita Art Museum on Friday. They do the late night Fridays, and Mason Talbot had a little presentation. He does a lot of light art where he's playing with different light colors and shadows and stuff. Really cool. So swung by that right before we went over to Adult Skate at Carousel, which was a blast. I did a corporate event for Worthington down at the casino. I know they've got a new lineup of food, right? I didn't get to check it out, though.
I stopped by over the weekend. They have 4 different restaurants in the little food hall. They have like a cafe-type place, pizza, a Mexican restaurant, and then like an Asian-themed one with like gyoza and pho and whatnot. Didn't get a chance to eat because I heard the slot machines and table games call my name. But yeah, I had to stop by and check it out. I think the grand opening of the ribbon cutting for it will be like March 1st or 2nd, something like that. Sometime this weekend.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I shot right from Mark Arts down to my event, and I was like, oh, I want to check but no time. And then, and then wrapped up the weekend. We went over to Jumbo's Beef and Brew. Hadn't been there in a little bit. And went over to Jumbo's. Phenomenal. And then some Kirby's Pinball. It was a great week.
Always a busy weekend for you.
That's when we do all the things.
Yep.
Okay. Upcoming events. Now through February 28th is the Real Honest Children's Consignment Sale at Century 2. This Friday is Final Friday, so there'll be a lot of places in the downtown area throwing events. Sunday is the 2nd annual Mushroom Festival at Sunflower Cafe and Collective. I don't know what kind of mushrooms I have going on, but I love mushrooms, so I'm going to go regardless.
I love mushrooms.
I do love mushrooms, too.
Kind of going back to Saturday is Death by Chocolate at Exploration Place. It's the Science Museum's biggest fun. Oh, we got the doorbell again. Let's see who it is. And we want to welcome our next guest on the dinner table. We have Laura Roddy with Exploration Place. She's the VP of Advancement at the, I would say, state's best science museum. So, welcome, Laura.
Well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Of course. There's some big things going on at EP, not just this weekend, but this entire year. So let's kind of start off with the weekend. I know it's one of the coolest, biggest events taking place on Saturday. It is Death by Chocolate. Yeah. So for those that don't know what that is, what is Death by Chocolate?
Incredibly fun event. So this is our main annual fundraiser here at Exploration Place. So it's entering its 19th year. Pretty impressive. And the name comes from the fact that we are just, there are so many options to taste chocolate that you will, by the end of it, if you make it to every station, you'll kind of want to die. The good news is, over the years, we have incredible support from our local restaurant and bar community. We are having, I think we're up to 38 right now, vendors that are going to be there. We do have a lot of savory options, which is nice. I remember going to the event once, even before I worked here, probably 10 years ago, and I was not a professional. I started too strong on like full size like cupcakes and things, and it was rough. So it's good to pace yourself, do the small bites. So it's a fun event. We do have we have a different judging panel every year to kind of award some categories. So it's a little bit of a food competition. We have a best savory, a best sweet, a best beverage award, kind of the most creative use of chocolate. And there's one about decorating just kind of your booth and doing your presentation. And then we actually let all our guests have a chance to vote. So there is a People's Choice Award on the guest's favorite. So we'll have about close to 1,000 people here attending this event this weekend, and lots of good things to eat and drink.
Yeah, I was looking at the list of vendors. I saw, some ones that stuck out for me. I don't know if they're new or not, but I mean, like Kobe, they're a staple. They've been there for quite a while.
Yeah.
I saw, is it La Cherie's cheesecake?
Yeah, La Cherie Nicole's cheesecake. Yeah, we're excited to have her
anybody's ever
here.
been there. They're over at Central or 13th and Woodlawn. Excellent cheesecakes in the cup, little cheesecake cups.
Yeah.
It's Cali. I think they're new this year.
Yeah, they're brand new. Excited to see what they bring. Yeah.
Argentina's
And James is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
fun.
great.
That seems like, I don't know, 19 years, some of them might have done it, but it's been a while if N&J's has participated. It hasn't been in the last 5 or 6 years. So
How cool.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know who all has been to Death by Chocolate before. I know Annette and I judged, was it last year?
Yeah, it was
that
so
was a
good.
great time. It was just so much food. And
It was so much food. But
I love the addition of more savory items because, like you, Laura, I think the first year I attended, I went to town on chocolates, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I need something different.
Usually around this time, we're kind of panicking, like, do we have enough savory? But actually this year, we feel like there's a really good balance. And then we have a couple like Una Vida tequilas there again, Greatness vodka. So there's a couple other, the American Institute of Wine and Food, the Wichita chapter, they're doing some wine tasting. So there's drinks there too. Oh, WSU Tech Niche, they always do something pretty
so good.
Oh yeah,
the culinary school.
Yeah.
So,
They've won some awards over the years too at Death by Chocolate.
right. And it's the cookie guy. He seems to be.
Those are so good too. I'm wearing my elastic wear this weekend. Plastic pants.
I did see VIP tickets sold out, but I believe there are some general admission left.
Yeah.
And
probably we probably have 100 or so left. $150 each.
Okay.
So it's a really good party. It's definitely, plenty to eat, plenty to drink. So those general admission tickets, you can enter starting at 6:30. The party goes till 10. That does include unlimited beer, wine, and a signature cocktail, as well as all the samples. And then, of course, it does support all of our STEM for All initiatives. So that's how we do free field trips for all Title I schools across Kansas. It's how we do 200 free scholarships to our STEM summer camps. And it's also how we keep the museum free for anybody that's on SNAP or EBT. So that's what the proceeds go to, but it's just, I think you get pretty good value just for your ticket alone, just in the food and the drinks and karaoke. And we have a dance party happening in the castle. And we have our science demonstrators. They always have something fun up their sleeves, so little science moments. And then, of course, our sharks exhibit's going on, so it's a good way for the grown-ups to play at the museum.
And that shark exhibit just opened up. Is it the other week or so?
Yeah, just a couple weekends ago. Yeah.
That's great. Is there anything, Laura, that you're like totally stoked about? You're like, oh, I can't wait for this to happen.
I mean, I hope it comes up. We're always doing some like silly. We're trying to raise the spectacle to a degree. So this year we're calling it, so Exploration Place is turning 25 this year. It's our 25th anniversary. Wow. So because of that, this is our silver anniversary gala. So we're just doing so much silver everywhere. Like we're creating one area as like a Y2K theme bar. We have,
I love it.
I don't know, just champagne skirt of sorts where the champagne glasses fit off. We have the Glare Bear locally is in silver and on roller skates. So just lots of like, we have a silver balloon tunnel that'll be like 20 feet tall. So we're just, just trying to up the spectacle.
Yes. Love it.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to drape some silver fabric all across our castle and have some disco balls hanging from the ceiling. So yeah, fun.
Very shiny.
So you said the tickets go to a good cause, and obviously I think everybody agrees that Exploration Place is awesome. Yes. I actually did not know, you mentioned it, that those you said with SNAP and EBT get in for free to EP?
Yes. So all you have to do is show your card. We joined Museums for All several years ago. We were one of the first museum in Wichita. There's multiple now, so it's a national program. To be part of it, you have to only agree to charge $3 or less admission, but we make it free. So, so when we do, that's why we fundraise, is to be able to do stuff like that, to make sure that this place is accessible to everyone. We don't want financial situation to be a barrier. And then that's also why we work really hard to keep our family membership really affordable, because that lets families come back unlimited times. So so you can feel pretty good about your like gluttony, you know.
Heck yeah, we love it. Our family membership we use. I mean, we go there a lot.
Yeah,
and it's just there's so much to see every time.
And we use the membership not just for Exploration Place, but we've gone down to like Oklahoma and checked out I knew it's the Kirkpatrick Center, but what's it called now? The Oklahoma Science Museum?
Oh, Science Museum, Oklahoma, I think.
Is that what it's called now?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They
got that little part of it, a kids museum within it, and the big science center. Anyway, it's really cool. I love that one.
Yeah, so it's cool that your membership gets you access to like all the other museums outside of not just Kansas but beyond.
There's more than 300 reciprocal. So pretty much anytime you go to any major sized city, decent sized city, you can get your whole family in for free. So usually that covers the cost of your membership alone. Yeah.
And then moving on to the rest of 2025, there's some big plans. I know you guys just opened up the amphitheater last year. And then later this year, hopefully, knock on wood, if all things go well, it's Destination Playscape.
Yeah. So we're excited. We are going to be, one thing that you mentioned, the amphitheater, I should kind of give you guys a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing there. We're going to do mid-April to mid-October, we're doing free family movies by the river every Friday night. So we'll have a whole lineup we're getting ready to announce. So again, we just try to do those things to keep building community, do things for families to keep things affordable. But we've been fundraising for the last several years. So we opened the amphitheater, and we're right now kind of going to be creating basically a playscape that's basically 10 playgrounds in one to kind of form one epic playground. Right now, we're working with play manufacturers, the best we could find all over the world. So we've got some things being manufactured in Denmark right now and in Germany. Wow. And we're getting pictures, and they'll be disassembled, and they'll come back here. I mean, we're talking about a 20-foot tall bison with a slide coming out of it. We've got a passenger jet and a plane up in the air, sponsored by our friends over at Textron, and that'll be about 50 feet in the air. There's sunflowers for the little kids, a sunflower-themed area. So lots of that stuff. It's going to be awesome. We should be finishing up construction end of 25, getting in that planting season. We're going to kind of get our little feet under us and kind of do some soft openings, make sure our members get in, and then we're looking at a grand opening, fully gates open wide for the public at spring break of 2026.
Wow. I mean, if you need a test run, Troy has got a gaggle of kids.
Yeah. My 5 kids will put it through the ringer for sure.
So we're building, there's a concession building outside, and also there's 6 independent family restrooms, right? So the whole family, they're just separate entities out there, and then a nice concession stand. And so that's part of it that we're working on, is increasing our own abilities in food and beverage, because we know people are going to be here longer, so we're going to need to do a better job of feeding them. Actually, for the first time at Death by Chocolate this weekend, Exploration Place's Snack Lab is going to have a station. We're going to be trying, our food and beverage manager is trying out something that's not on our menu yet, but maybe in the future. He's going to do some kind of boneless wings with some different sauces. So we're trying to up our food and drink game, knowing that people will want to be spending, all day here. Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, Laura, sounds like big things are happening. Big things are coming. The museums can get better and better and better, just as each month goes by. Quick shout out though, the Riverflex deal is awesome. We went last year. They had Monsters Inc. showing on the screen. Yeah. There were so many families that came out, brought their blankets, just sat on the lawn and just enjoyed the night. It was really cool to see.
We have an amazing screen that blows up. It just kind of takes a couple hours, but then you got the keeper in the background, so you're overlooking the keeper of the plains. It is really just kind of a nice quintessential Wichita, hopefully the quintessential Wichita experience that everyone's going to want to make sure they participate in at least a couple times a season.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well, thanks again, Laura. I will be seeing you this weekend, maybe even sooner, because I have yet to check out the shark exhibit, and my daughter's going to need to stop by, so we'll probably be there soon.
Okay, awesome. And then sneak peek for the summer, we got a Barbie exhibit coming up next. So
Heck yeah.
There you go, Carmen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barbie, you can do anything. You can be anything. So it's
Barbie.
career inspiration, Barbie.
We're in the Barbie phase at home. We got the dollhouse or dream house, whatever it is. So I'm sure we'll be back there too. I'll have her bring her friend.
Summer too. Riverflix. We're showing that
Cute.
most recent month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
Awesome.
Very
Well,
cool.
thanks again, Laura.
Thanks for inviting me.
We'll see you next time.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
Laura.
you.
Things in the community. Levantine Kitchen. It's a new restaurant just opened Monday at 3337 East Central. That's the southeast corner over across the street from Wesley. It is a quick service Mediterranean restaurant owned by Hassan Balaut, who also owns Albero Cafe Bistro. Stop by. Really good quick food, healthy. At least I felt healthy eating it. Now I don't eat healthy a lot. So props to them. And then tonight is the grand opening for Wichita Brewing Company in Delano at 901 West Douglas. Rooftop bar. I think they have more taps at this location than the other two WBC spots. This is going to be a pretty, poppin' place, I think, in Delano.
That's fun.
I think for like family restaurants in Delano area or even like downtown, there's not very many places that are like totally kid friendly. So I think this is a cool addition. I think during like St. Patty's Day, this place is going to be even
Oh my gosh.
busy right along.
Good
Douglas.
luck getting in. Yeah, that sounds like a blast.
And announced Monday, this is a big announcement. Summerfest is returning June 13th and 14th. This was formerly Elsewhere Fest. They've changed names. It is the Summerfest Music Fest and Conference. I know, Carbon, you're a part of it last year.
Yes, and I'll be a
this
part of
was-
it this year.
You will?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to drop the lineup on the screen. Some names that some of you may know. I got Big X the Plug, Flying Lotus, Dead Mouse, Suki Waterhouse, Two Lot will be there, Aloe Black, a lot of EDM, some R&B, got some
Hip
DJs
hop,
there.
Lyrics Born. Yeah, I'm stoked.
It's
a
going to be a
lineup.
big one.
And you know what? The amazing thing is, like, I remember last year, I did not know a lot of the bands. I had to get familiar with them because I was DJing, so I was doing a lot of work. And kind of where a lot of this hinged from was a lot of the stuff that Adam had done where he was part of NIVIA, which was Save Our Stages, the National Independent Venue Association. So a lot of this was born out of him trying to find ways to help artists tour and other independent venues when he was operating Wave. So they've really developed a network of guys that said, we've got some great bands, we just don't quite know how to connect them everywhere. So, I mean, they're getting top-level talent that you might not have heard of. And that was my favorite thing about Elsewhere Fest was, just go, you're going to see some amazing acts. They really have some great people, and you're going to put it on the calendar. Like, when are they going to come back to town? I need to see them. So even if you don't know every artist, go for the ones you know, but stick around for the ones you don't, and make sure you check them all out, because it is an amazing lineup of talent.
I went last year, and
Sold.
I remember I saw the event listing in the lineup, and I'm like, I only recognize 3 or 4 of these people. I was like, what the hell? It's a first-time event. I'm going to go check it out, support it, and there's so many people that were in my shoes. Like, we only know 2 names, and we're gonna go check it out, and they just loved it. You just kind of take the environment in, the vibe, the energy. It was infectious.
Yeah.
And
It is the most activated. I think I might have said it on here before. I know I've had the discussion. A lot of people, when Riverfest comes around, everyone's like, I miss the good old days of Riverfest. And everyone talks about the sense of community and this and that. And I'm a huge fan of Riverfest, all the things that it does. But the nostalgia that people talk about, I felt that Somewhere Elsewhere Fest is the first time I really saw that community captured and just the activation of the entire area with just a buzz of energy that was just really fresh and unique. And it was, I've never seen Wichita activated like that in such an artistic way. I've seen a lot of activation, but not quite like that. It was surreal, the way they took everything. If you weren't there, please put it in your calendar. I highly recommend it. Can't recommend it enough.
And real quick, before we move on, the conference portion is really cool. What they have is they have a lot of big name artists that come in town, and they help pretty much educate other artists on random different topics to help strengthen their careers. So it's like networking. You're able to hear from people who've been to that level. Like Aloe Black is going to be coming to Wichita, and he's going to host a session as well. I saw Aloe Black, I think, it was like years and years ago. He opened up for Jay-Z in Oklahoma, and it's awesome what they're doing. I'm excited. I hope the city's excited as well.
Yay.
All right. Ready to move on to the next section? We got Trussell Truths, sponsored by Trussell Media.
All right, so there's two things going on today.
Okay.
Or actually, two things going on tomorrow, because it's already at the dinner table, so we want to focus on tomorrow.
Okay.
February
Thursday.
27th, Thursday, February 27th is National Kahlua Day.
Ooh.
So I don't drink anymore, but when I used to drink, I used to love a good White Russian or a mudslide, and that's what the dude drinks.
The dude abides.
The dude abides. So go to your local bowling alley, order up, a mudslide or a White Russian, and celebrate Kahlua Day. But the second thing that happens on February 27th is National Pokemon Day.
Oh, wow.
So as some of you know,
That's
like my
dang.
kids and I, we're huge Pokemon fans. We collect all the cards and all things Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow we're just going to celebrate. And we're going to go to a few card shops,
Yeah.
see what they got going on. I know some of them had some celebrations this past weekend, I think because they get more people in the door on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
But some other ones are doing some things on Thursday. So
Cute.
tomorrow, happy Pokemon Day, everybody. It's going to
Can we
be
get a
great.
quick plug for your kids' Pokemon channel again?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Yes.
Pokedudes.
Pokedudes.
And it's only on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
So you can
And how
check
do you
out
spell Pokedudes? Because
Pokedudes.
some people may not know how to spell the word Pokey.
Pokedudes. Pokedudes.
I'm surprised that name wasn't taken already by the time you guys got to it.
It's
Well,
cute.
somebody had it on YouTube, but they had like 3 videos. And I think we've already passed the 100 mark on videos.
Oh my gosh.
So we were like, yeah, we can blow past
I think
blow
it's
past
fine.
them.
You're fine.
Yeah, I think
That's
we're
awesome.
Cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Online shout-outs. We got quite a few here. There's some good ones. The people came through this week. All right, Mark
Awesome.
Walsh wants to shout out El Paso Animal Hospital. Mark's dog had to go into emergency surgery over the weekend to save her paw that she got a cut on. There's a great outcome and amazing staff. Everything went well. And he wanted to say, everything about them is what an animal hospital should strive to be. So, shout out to them. Next up, Christian Bogner wants to shout out her 17-year-old daughter and her 2 friends at Cape and Mount Carmel. Their picture on screen. They are doing the LLS Student Visionary of the Year fundraising. The 3 have been so selfless in their efforts to fight blood cancers, dedicating every shred of their spare time to working on their campaign. And then on their off days from school, they even visit cancer patients in the hospital in dedication to the cause. So shout out to those kids. That's awesome. Instead of being at home playing games and whatnot, you're going out doing some good work in the community. Trisha Lee wants to shout out the volunteers of the Andover Historical Museum and Towanda Area Historical Museum for continually putting in the time to save our local history. Lacey Jones wants to shout out Doggy Fly Yards for his snow removal services. I think one of those days he started at 6:45 a.m. when wind chills were like negative 20 or something like that, and didn't finish until every driveway, sidewalk, and porch were cleared along with ice melt. Sounds like a neighborhood I'm going to need to move to one of these days. And lastly, this is a very cool story. Amber Pennington wants to shout out Redemption Animal Rescue. So I don't know if you guys heard, there was a head-on collision near Turon, Kansas a while back. 2 men from Michigan died in the accident, unfortunately. 6 dogs were also involved in the accident. 2 of them died, but the others were kind of saved and were in need of big care. The Redemption Animal Rescue helped transport those animals to a hospital. Those dogs were covered in diesel fuel, lots of glass, but all made miraculous recoveries. One of the dogs was returned to someone locally here because all of them were identified. The next of kin from the dogs were contacted that were in Michigan, and the Redemption Animal Rescue helped facilitate and drove those dogs back to Michigan to be with their families.
Isn't that amazing? I saw that pop up on social this weekend
so
too.
did
I was like,
and
dang.
I read about it.
I mean, and they've been documenting the whole thing too. And I'm like, what an amazing group. So very cool.
All right. What's good in Wichita? Let's wrap this up. So it's time for everyone to come through with a good shout out, something cool they've seen in the community. For me, I want to shout out the Shocker fans. It's been rough couple years. I'm still a season ticket holder, a booster and whatnot, and whether you're in the seats or in the arena, or watching the games at home, you're not giving up on your team. Like I said, it's been rough, it's been hard, but they've been on a hot streak and they've won 6 straight games, and it's a good time to get hot going into March. So let's hope we can continue this win streak and maybe even punch a ticket to the state tournament.
That'd be awesome.
They have good possibilities. I mean, I wouldn't say that. So I don't want to knock on it. They have good possibilities of winning like everything for the rest of the season. My husband and I were talking about it the other day. So
we beat Memphis. They were a 12th team in the nation, and if we can beat a ranked team, we could beat anybody in the conference. And all we need to do is just get hot. And once the AAC tournament takes place down in Texas, if we can go off a string of games.
Momentum. Yep.
Why not?
The tournament, and oh man, it's the best. It's the best thing for Wichita when all the teams from Kansas are in the tournament.
Yeah,
just 100%.
Bars are packed,
100%.
TVs, everybody's has someone to root for. It's amazing.
I think the best thing is if we can get this weather to stretch out to when we have the NCAA tournament here.
Yes.
Can we please? When it got warm over this past weekend, I was like, oh, please be this, but we have NCAA here.
I was just talking about that this past weekend. I was like, because I was out Sunday, and we're like, man, if we can have this weather for those 2 weeks in March
for St. Patty's and NCAA.
Yeah, oh my gosh, the city will
start getting active. Yeah,
wild.
Wild.
Yeah.
All right, Troy.
Yeah. So recently, we had a tragedy in our family happen. My cousin's 18-year-old daughter went missing on February 9th, and I think it was 6 days later they found her, and they found her body. And so just a horrible, tragic thing. It's still under investigation, but just the outpouring of love that we've had from friends and other family and just people that we don't know, reaching out to my cousin and his family, and just everyone that shared the missing information for my cousin, and just trying to find her, and all the love that came around that was just incredible to see. Still a horrible thing that happened. But I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. And they're having a memorial service for her this coming Friday in Colorado. That's where they live. And just surrounded by love and all the thoughts. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that helped and prayed for us and is continuing to pray for the family, because it's going to be just a horrible, long grieving process, but they're getting through it. And I'll put up on the screen, they had a GoFundMe page to kind of help out with things. And I think they've already reached their goal, but if anybody else wants to give to that as well, I'm sure you can definitely do that. So just wanted to say thank you.
Carbon.
Oh. Okay.
All the love. It's nice to see that love. It's hard to follow it up.
No. Well, speaking of showing a lot of love, I wanted to give a shout out. So I'm having a lot of meetings with some folks from Rainbows, some folks from Wagon Masters, a lot of the nonprofits, and just a lot of people. And in order to make these things work, there's a lot of people that are volunteering. My wife, huge help with Wine About Cancer. So I wanted to give a huge shout out to the people that allow these amazing events to happen. Not just, I love the big time events where there's a ticketed thing and this and that, but also the ones that are for these places that are treated as a nonprofits or as their fundraisers. There's a whole lot of volunteers that show up each and every day to these places, to these venues, or just specifically for those events, that do a great amount of assistance and making sure those events happen. I'm dealing with stuff for St. Patrick's Day, and then Fashion Passion's coming up. And every year I see all these people that are there year over year. You have the people that work for the team, but then also the volunteers that show up each and every time. So you often do get a nod throughout those programs, but I wanted to give a huge salute and recognition to those that give their time to these amazing causes selflessly and help these places benefit and just make Wichita a much cooler place than it already was. So thank you for all that you do.
Awesome. Annette, take us home.
Well, I feel like this past weekend and even now, just beautiful days, right? Shout out to Mother Nature and everyone adapting to things that she has thrown at us. I mean, it's been kind of, I will say, like, some parts of these snow days, even though I hate the idea of my kid being off school for almost a whole week, but I mean, we've had some fun during the snow days. On the warm days this past weekend, we're out riding our bikes and doing what we can to enjoy things. So everyone with all the flexibility, I mean, like, and the people who deal with like the winter blues, I know it's a big thing. For some people, it's a terrible time, but the sun's been shining the past couple of days. It's been awesome. So I hope that whatever Mother Nature is throwing at you, because we do have more winter, it's still here. I hope it doesn't happen during that time in March. I don't want to see it at all, but if it does happen, the way you've rolled with it, everybody, you've done great. So congratulations. Okay, we survived. We need T-shirts or something.
We got through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. Hopefully, you did find some things to enjoy when it was cold, but even more now when it's warmer.
Yeah, this past weekend was active. Everybody was outside.
So great. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I didn't even know what you stood outside. I'm like, what do I do? I was like,
and all the like thousands of car washes in Wichita. Congratulations, you have business. So that's wonderful.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
I'm giving it like 3 or 4 days until I get my first car wash post all this.
Yeah.
Or I might just go right now after this. We'll see.
I don't want to see any more snow on the side of the road or anything. I'll see the big mountains before I go, but everything else has got to be gone.
I love snow. I love it.
Yeah.
I love snow. I love cold weather. But this was even a little too much for me.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Annette, Troy, Carbon, thanks for hopping on. TKG, Absolutely. We'll see you next week. And to all those watching at home, thank you.
I miss you, TKG.
You've all been excused from the dinner table.
Good night.
That was great.